Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, APW Sports signing in, and welcome to episode 4 of WWE Weekly. And on these episodes, we give a recap of Smackdown, Raw, and just talk about all different things going on throughout the WWE that, let's just say, that are interesting that I would like to talk about. But before I get into this episode, make sure you guys leave this video a like. It continues to help this channel to grow and it beats the YouTube algorithm. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos that I post, whether they're wrestling or football related. So let's just get back into last Smackdown, which to me, I still think Smackdown needs to go back to 2 hours or 2.5 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours, that sweet spot. I think 3 hours, despite the roster size, is just not hitting as a show. I think once SmackDown goes back to 2 hours, and I think that's coming very soon, if the reports are right, I think sometime in June, I think this should be something that should be back to 2 hours. But the show kicked off with Solo, Jacob Fatu, and the newly named JC Mateo, aka Jeff Cobb, which they were talking about how Jacob Fatu should go back to say, we all know I love you, Solo. Solo was wanting Jacob to really say that, but he didn't go for it. And during the promo, they were attacked, mainly JC, by LA Knight to get his payback on what happened at Backlash, which was the debuting of him and in costing LA Knight the United States title opportunity and but the opportunity to regain back his United States Championship. So that was that. And then we had Alexa Bliss versus Michin and Chelsea Green in a women's triple threat qualifying match for Money in the Bank. Overall, it was a very solid match, but me coming into it, when you're putting Alexa Bliss in a type of match like this against the Michin and Chelsea Green, and no shade to those two, you just figured Alexa Bliss is going to win this match. It was a very solid match with Michin and Chelsea Green getting their moves on each other, but at the end of the day, Alexa Bliss hit Green with the sister Abigail and counted it for the 1, 2, 3, and he got her in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Then we have Fraxium versus DIY, which I always said this, if you guys can go back to my previous episodes, I really think Nathan Frazier and Axiom should be on Raw to boost that tag team division. SmackDown's tag team division, I think, is a very good division, as is when we're talking about tag teams. I think Raw's need a little bit of boost with Fraxium. But nonetheless, Fraxium is still going over with their huge win versus Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano of DIY. Very good match. And next to Frazier, I keep stuttering on names. Frazier got the pin, but immediately after, DIY ended up assaulting him and attacking him, which led to the appearance of a Motor City Machine Gun, which I think, like I said, boosts to the tag team division. I'm interested to see how their tag match is going to go next week. I think at the end of the day, the way they're pushing Frazier and Axiom, I think the Street Profits brain may come to an end. I hate to say that, but with the way that the WWE is pushing Axiom and Frazier, I really think it's only a matter of time before they become tag team champions. I hope they pull a swerve because I'm a fan of the Street Profits and I really want to see how far they can take their reign. But I would not be surprised when Fraxium wins the belts, or they could possibly do something as in maybe some type of shenanigans happen that help for the Street Profits to retain the titles. I'm interested to see that. I am interested to see that match. Then we have R-Truth cutting a promo on John Cena ahead of their match of Saturday night's main event, which is still surprisingly not for the WWE champion. I'm still kind of baffled by that. It'd have been nice and probably put more glue or probably put something more on the match if the championship was on the line. But nonetheless, R-Truth is going to fight John Cena, and he cut a promo on it. And he was sort of talking about how he's still my hero, but if he has to get him down and bring him down a notch, he's going to do so. R-Truth is one of those national treasures that we don't need to see go. National treasure, very funny character. It was crazy that this character in his thing has lasted as long as it has. Because sometimes when you get these type of characters, when we're talking about the wrestling, they have a short shelf life. So shout out to R-Truth for making this character very interesting, for making this character long lasting beyond, I think this is 2011, 2012, something around that time when this character started to develop when he had the little Jimmy thing. But shout out to R-Truth, national treasure. Then we have Aleister Black versus Carmelo Hayes. And honestly, I still want Carmelo Hayes to get a push away from Aleister Black. The Miz. We know Aleister Black. I would like to see him in a different type of scenario. I know they're bringing him back a little bit slowly, kind of introducing him to a kind of a newer fan base when we're talking about the WWE, because some may or may not know him. So I think they're bringing him back a little bit slower. But I just wish they would get Carmelo Hayes away from the damn Miz. And I like the Miz. I don't have nothing wrong with the Miz, but I just think Carmelo needs a bigger push than what he's been getting. Especially with the talent that he has in the ring, he needs a bigger push away. And it was ended by disqualification. And I just really like to see them get further. I know it was a disqualification match, which the Miz ended up attacking Aleister Black. I want to see Aleister Black away from this feud to kind of do something else a little bit. And I want to see Carmelo get a bigger push than what he's been getting. Maybe in a United States picture, maybe if you're not even for a title, just get a bigger push than what he's been getting, because he can really go in the ring. Now we have Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest being announced for the Saturday night main event in a steel cage match, which I will drop a Saturday night main event preview later on this week. But they cut a promo on how when Drew's in some type of match or something, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest always ends up capitalizing, and they want to enter this rivalry, which I thought would have ended at WrestleMania when Drew beat him. I would have thought this rivalry would have ended and taken care of that, but nonetheless, I'm interested to see this steel cage match because I'm interested to see this rivalry come to an end. I like Priest, and I really like McIntyre, but I just really want to see this come to an end. Maybe Drew McIntyre gets thrown in the WWE Championship picture. I would love to see that. Drew versus John Cena in John Cena's last run. I don't know when that's going to happen or if it's going to happen, but that is a match that I would be there to see. I would love to see that match. Drew McIntyre versus John Cena. And we know the things he was saying about John Cena prior to Elimination Chamber. And we know how Drew feels about John Cena as far as this goes. I would love to see a match between Drew and John Cena. I think that will be a tremendous match. And I would love to see Drew with a title again, to be honest. Me personally, he had it in the COVID era, and if you guys don't know, that was kind of the period where I kind of gave up on wrestling, about late 2019, 2020. I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm interested to see, number one, I'll give my predictions in the video, but I want Drew McIntyre versus John Cena. Next, we have Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso versus Rey Fenix in Money in the Bank Triple Threat qualifying match. Now, I would have loved to see Rey Fenix win this, but I think Rey Fenix has a little bit more of a story to tell. And, of course, Jimmy to kind of give him the same kind of elevation as his brother Jey Uso has. But nonetheless, I kind of figured they were going to give Solo with the win in this match because he just now has JC Mateo and he has Jacob Fatu on his corner. which I still think that is probably going to end up in some type of a match down the line between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. I still believe that. So if this really happens, don't say you didn't hear from me. But I really want to see Solo versus Jacob in a match, and it's going towards that. And in the last, Solo ends up winning the match and hitting Rey Fenix with the Samoan Spike. And this is a solid match. It was going back and forth. I was kind of rooting for Rey Fenix, but for story purposes, maybe Solo has a bigger story to push, and I kind of want to see where Solo goes now that he's outside of the whole Tribal Tree bloodline feud. I would like to see where this goes. But then after that match, LA Knight continued to go and attack JC Mateo and then attack Solo's new crew, which ended up getting a megastar LA Knight versus JC Mateo in his debut match in WWE, which I really think it was a really good match. JC Mateo, I was not aware of him too much before he debuted at Backlash, but he is really strong and he can really go in the ring. I will give him that. He ended up getting his victory. So I would like this to continue. I'm interested to see where this is going to go. So that was a good match. And then we had our main event with Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax in a WWE Women's Championship match, which I will be honest with you guys, I actually fell asleep on this. I did go back and rewatch the match, but I was kind of tired. I had a long day that Friday, the whole day. I actually fell asleep on it, but I did go back and rewatch the match. God damn it, why did I ain't gonna lie, this was a really solid match when Tiffany and Nia going back and forth. And I think we're starting to see Tiffany starting to improve in the ring. We know how much Nia has improved. And I'm a fan of Nia. Yes, I am. And Tiffany Stratton is really starting to improve. And it's crazy that not only did somebody firstly kick out of the prettiest moonsault ever, but the really strange bump is the way that Tiffany Stratton was trying to go for that power bomb, but end up getting into an Annihilator and ending up kicking out of the Annihilator. To my knowledge, I really haven't seen anybody kick out of the Annihilator. I really haven't. So, and it's basically a Bonsai drop if you guys kind of want to reference, but I didn't see that coming. Very good back and forth match that caused Nia Jax to end up get busted open at the point in the match. I didn't really see where that happened, but Tiffany ended up retaining her WWE Women's Championship. And at this point, who is going to be the next challenger for Tiffany Stratton? I have a feeling it could possibly be Naomi. I don't want it to be Charlotte. Jesus Christ, no. It could possibly be Jade Cargill. And to be honest, I think if Bianca Belair were healthy, that would be a good challenge for Tiffany Stratton for that Women's Championship. I want to see what the WWE has planned next for Tiffany Stratton and her title reign. Me personally, I would love to see Naomi get a crack at it because we know what Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, when they were together, we know what they did to make their life hell, and she actually cut a promo about it last week, I think a week or two ago. So I would love to see where they're going to take that and help build Naomi's heel turn. So I think Naomi will be, for me, at least for storyline purpose, the more logical opponent for Tiffany Stratton in her next title defense or her next feud. I know Tiffany Stratton and Nia's kind of getting a little old to some people. I'm not frustrated by it, but I do want to see Naomi get thrown into that feud to push her heel turn and to also kind of give her a pushing opportunity for that title, which she kept getting thrown away from when Tiffany and Nia were together. So if I had an opponent for Tiffany Stratton to go against next or have a feud with next, I would like to see Nia again at some point, but not now. But I would love to see Naomi in this feud against Tiffany Stratton. You guys leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who would you think should be a next opponent for Tiffany Stratton's Women's Championship? Today's video is brought to you by Cellular C4. This is a product that I personally used before I even decided to partner with them. And the first thing I got introduced to was the energy drinks by C4. This right here is a fruit punch flavor. They have many other flavors. They have popsicle flavors that just dropped. They have Skittles, Starburst, all the type of flavors that you want. To help you get started with your day, you can wake up in the morning before you start your day and drink you one of those. And also before you get that workout in, when it's workout day, you can take you some pre-workout to help you get the boost in your workout. All the products, 0 sugar, low calories. This is a great product to take you in your workouts and your journey on fitness to the next level. And I am happy to partner with a product that I was already using in my own personal life. And I will leave my code in the description below to save you guys 20% on your first purchase of C4, of their workouts. They even have muscle recovery to help boost after workouts. They have so many supplements and things to help you on your fitness journey. And you can get yours today in the description below. Click the link and use my code APW Sports to help you save 20%. And again, the links are in the description below. And use the code APW Sports to save you 20% on your purchase. Now, it is time to get back into the video. Now we're going to go into Monday Night Raw, which kicked off with Logan Paul cutting a promo on how he's going to take the World Heavyweight title away from Jey Uso, as how he's already knocked him out, only to be surprisingly interrupted by Gunther, which Gunther was, again, that June 9th potential match against the winner of Jey Uso and Logan Paul. And he was saying, if you're able to survive this, if you're able to survive that, you are going up against me. I cannot wait for that to happen. I also cannot wait for Saturday night, but I'll get into that in a later video. But nonetheless, that was a very good promo with Jey Uso coming out to knock out Logan Paul to start off the show. I mean, we can only get so much of consistently getting Logan Paul to knock out Uso. I mean, Jesus Christ. Somebody, at some point, Jey Uso is going to have to get his lick back at some point, and that's what happened. Then we have Finn Balor and JD McDonough versus AJ Styles and Penta, which was a very, very good match. Finn Balor still puts on good matches. JD, to me, has looked very good since he returned back from injury. We know how Penta and AJ Styles can do in the ring. I'm becoming more of a fan of Penta as the weeks start to come on. I've already been a fan of AJ Styles, but JD McDonough is really leaving a big impression on me. And I've said this and I'll say it again. He's really leaving a big impression on me. And this match was back and forth with Penta hitting the Mexican Destroyer on JD McDonough on the outside in the waning moments of the match. Only for freaking El Grande Americano to get involved. I'll be honest with you guys. I am so tired of this Chad Gable Grande Americano stick. I'm sick of it. I might be the only one. I'm so sick and damn tired of it because we know Chad Gable can go inside of the square circle. We know he's capable of putting on very good matches. I still don't understand this damn Grande Americano angle. I know what they were trying to do. It's just, to me, and it's only for me, you guys are your thoughts. It's not working. It's just not working for me. And I want to see Chad Gable get actual push and not a Grande Americano, because Chad Gable is really talented and can go in the ring. I always said it should have been him versus Gunther at last year's WrestleMania, not Sami Zayn. But I really feel that the WWE at some point needs to pull the trigger on giving Chad Gable some type of a singles title at some point, because of, number one, he is very talented in the ring, and his heel turn is starting to. It's good. I know the host character is getting booed, but it works. It's working. So I would love to see him get some type of a push for a singles title, maybe the Intercontinental title at some point. I just would love to see it. And Finn Balor and Dominik, and Dominik might be the man. He might be get titled to GOAT because of the scene where Roxanne was giving him the chicken nuggets and Carlito an apple. If they pull that type of a story off, Dominik Mysterio is the GOAT. He is the absolute freaking GOAT. If he's able to pull that off. First is Rhea, then Liv, and then Roxanne Perez. And it's crazy because Dominik is actually married in real life. So if he's pulling that off in real life, man, in this story, he is the GOAT. Give him the GOAT right now. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Because, man, it's crazy that they're still going with this. Like I said, he's an actually married man in real life. And it's crazy that they're still going with this type of an angle. So if they go with that, Dominik is GOAT. And speaking of Roxanne Perez, we have Roxanne Perez versus Becky Lynch and Natalya in a triple threat match for the Money in the Bank women's match. And it was a very good match. Becky Lynch still is proving that she can really go in the ring. Natalya, man, I wish they would give her some type of a last push before she decides to call it quits in the ring. Because, man, that woman is talented. We know Roxanne Perez is the prodigy, which ended up she win the match. And she ended up hitting Pac Rocks on Natalya after Becky got taken out in the ring by Lyra Valkyria, who ended up appearing and interfering in this match. And it looked like Natalya was finna hit Becky with the sharpshooter, but Becky ended up getting taken out of the ring by Lyra Valkyria. And I'm glad that is kind of continuing because of the way it ended at Backlash. So we have Roxanne Perez, and now previously Alexa Bliss ended up qualifying for the women's side of the Money in the Bank. And then we have the whole Grayson Waller versus Sheamus. I will still be honest. Damn, I want them to break up. It's the signs are pointing towards a Grayson Waller Austin Theory breakup. Because the way this was going in this match with Sheamus, Austin Theory is in the outside of the ring smiling and laughing at the entire situation because of the way that Theory got put in the match with Sheamus last week. And Sheamus is still putting on good matches. Banger after banger after banger. I know that's the whole thing. And Grayson Waller, at some point, with this, the story of them breaking up has been brewing for so long. They have to find a way to pull the trigger at some point because it's bound to happen. Because I kind of would want to see them both get out different pushes outside of each other, or different where they would go outside of each other. But man, when I tell you this got to end at some point. To me, this got to end at some point. And Sheamus ended up getting the victory with the bro kick after another good match against Grayson Waller. So, like I said, I want to see that break. Then we have the second women's qualifying match with Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, and Zoe Stark, which ended up turning into a one-on-one after a nasty leg injury to Zoe Stark. That didn't look good. I didn't see it live. I was kind of somewhat distracted, but man, when I went back and watched the clip of that particular injury, that didn't look good. So my thoughts go out to Zoe Stark. I hope she has a full and speedy recovery. I hope it's nothing serious. Despite it did not look good. It just did not look good when she was performing the missile drop kick or the drop kick in her knee buckle. And that was not a pretty sight. Once I seen that, it was not good. It was not good. So, and Zoe Stark has been dealing with that knee injury before in the past that's cost her months out of her career. So I really hope that this is not something bad. But it ended up turning into a returning Kairi Sane, who we haven't seen since December, versus Rhea Ripley, which turned out to be a very solid match with Kairi Sane and Rhea trading blows, which ended up with Rhea ending in a win for the Money in the Bank, which I kind of want to see how Rhea is going to fare in the type of Money in the Bank match. Kairi saying I want to see where they're going to go. When is Asuka coming back? That's what I want to know. When is Asuka going to come back into the ring? Because I'm a fan of Asuka and the way she can go in the ring. When is she coming back? have already basically broken up Damage Control with Dakota Kai being released, and Io Sky basically getting thrown in. She's up into the moon as far as her push goes. So, and then with Io Sky with Becky backstage before that match. So, I would like to see when is Asuka coming back. I wish they would have done it a little bit different with Kairi Sane. Probably had a surprise opponent, and then maybe you tried to get more of a pop with Kairi Sane coming back. I wish the WWE would have done it that way. I think it would have been more of a shock. I think it would have been more. She would have got more of a pop. She would have got more attention towards her comeback versus the WWE and pre-announcing that she was returning to the ring. I think it would have been better if she would have been the mystery opponent, and then she brought out, and then the whole crowd goes bonkers when she comes back. But nonetheless, that was a good match. Rhea ended up getting qualified to join Alexa Bliss and to join Roxanne Perez. Next, we have the main event of Running at Raw with Jey Uso taking on Bron Breakker. And just like before, when those two have gone one-on-one, they have had some quality matches, which is they had back and forth match with the whole Jey Uso jumping out of the ring, and then Bron Breakker, I almost said Bron Uso, Bron Breakker will jumping into the announce table, taking out Jey Uso. Then you had the distraction of Paul Heyman getting involved. This match, this storyline itself, man, this is a very good storyline the WWE is having. And shout out to Paul Heyman because, man, Paul Heyman can cut a promo. Man, Paul Heyman can keep you interested in shit. He has a way of keeping you glued and interested in different storylines. With Seth Rollins, he wants that World Heavyweight title back that he lost at WrestleMania 4 years. Besides once, never really got a chance to fight for it. And with the whole mission and their whole plan is for Seth to have the title. And Paul warned Jey Uso before that at this point, I wouldn't even have made this match, but we want to soften you. He wants to weaken you down because you've been such a good champion. Those are words for Paul Heyman and Jey Uso. Man, he keeps you interested in a storyline. But nonetheless, and the match ended in disqualification when when Seth Rollins came to attack Jey Uso because the match, it was more business, and he said once he crossed the line and he sided against him, it became personal. So it became personal, he went out to attack Jey Uso in that match and ended by disqualification, which ended up with them attacking Uso, and then Sami Zayn came out, stood there only for CM Punk to come out and make the save for Jey Uso. And those two were fighting back and forth. They even fought into the crowd, only for Logan Paul to get Jey Uso again inside of the ring. And what a crazy way to end the show with so many storylines intertwining. And this is my opinion. You guys can leave your thoughts. I've always said the art of storytelling with Triple H versus Vince, you can see the differences. It seems with Triple H, the way that they go about some of their storytelling, they put maybe 2-3 different storylines and they kind of combine themselves into one thing. Because we've seen with the United States title with Jacob Fatu, with LA Knight, and then you had the Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest storyline. Then you have the Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and CM Punk, and that storyline combining with Jey Uso, combining with the World Heavyweight title, combining with Logan Paul going after the World Heavyweight title. I just think it is a difference in storyline telling for the WWE since Triple H kind of took it like that. But that was another good episode of Raw. SmackDown was better. I just wish my goofy behind would have stayed away through the whole thing and not had to go rewatch it. But both episodes were good. And I will do my Saturday night main event preview later on this week, so you guys can stay tuned for that. But this concludes this episode of WWE Weekly. I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys leave this video a like and continues to help this channel to grow, beats the YouTube algorithm. And if you are not subbed, if you've reached this point, comment, when is Roman coming back? Comment your favorite wrestler. Comment your thoughts down below. And I'm out of here. And I'll catch you guys later.